Thanks for watching. My remote stopped working. Didn't know why. It won't power on. It's not turning on my TV. And I just realized something. When I push some of the buttons, they feel a little sticky. So I know the kids probably spilled juice or pop on it. And this video is going to work and show you guys how to fix almost any remote, especially if there's pop damage, or just to troubleshoot it and most likely figure it out. If some of the buttons aren't working, like only a 7 is not working, I'm going to show you guys how to fix that. If it's no power at all, let's open your remote and just get an idea, and maybe we can troubleshoot and fix the problem. The thing you're going to want to do is look inside of the remote. And how do you get inside of it? You're going to open up the remote and you're going to look for screws somewhere if you don't see any screws. And I've never been inside of this, and I'm going to try to fix this as I make this video. But I'm pretty sure that I could fix it because I fixed a lot of crap. All right, let's get started. We're going to try to get in here. I got a razor blade here. And I know that these are two different pieces of plastic, so I'm going to try to start prying and see if we can get anywhere on this. All right, I just heard a snap, so I know it's clipped in together. Let me try this back end real quick just to see. So it's definitely snapped together. Some stuff has screws, then you gotta unsnap, and some stuff just has screws, but usually they snap and unsnap. So I'm just trying to get to this point to try to see where you can get to. Let me try to use multiple razor blades where I can have it held in place. It looks like this top piece comes off is what it looks like. Yours is going to be a little different, but usually they build them all the same. It was a good engineering design with the snap clip to get to them. And so everybody's copied everybody on how to get inside of remote controls, cell phones, toys. So pretty much this video is to show you how to get inside here. Take a look at what's going on inside. Clean your motherboard or circuit board, whatever you want to call it. And once you can do that, usually that will fix the problem, especially with stuck buttons. You got sticky buttons, this is like 90% going to solve your problem on your issue with your sticky buttons or whatever it may be. But any electronic, if you take it apart and take a look at what's going on, just remember how to put it back together. And if you can't put this back together, because it's so simple, you're literally thinking about like 4 pieces. All right, you see how these are notched out? It tells me that this big notch goes here, this little one here. You want the V button facing up like it always was. I'll get this one out of the way for us. Here's your remote. You can wash this if it's sticky with water and soap. I'm gonna do that, but I'm not gonna take you to my sink and wash that. I could see a bunch of sticky residue here. I could feel it. I know that it's sticking. And if you guys are beginners and don't know anything about this, you could see the discoloration right there where it got contact with some type of water or liquid. And I'm gonna show you guys how to clean that off. I got some Q-tips. You can use alcohol on circuit boards as long as you use, as long as you let the alcohol, I'm using 70% isopropyl alcohol, as long as you let that dry. So what I'm doing now is spraying the alcohol on this Q-tip. I am wiping my circuit board down, and I'm going to explain to you guys how this works. You see this little black, these black spots. When this one touches that one, with the contact of this spacer button right here, there's some type of material that they use. When it touches that, even though it's rubberized, it touches like say this one and this one, that gives it contact. So if there's a little bit of mucky fluid on there or sticky residue, that's going to stop the contact. So all you're doing is removing it with alcohol. Put it by a hair dryer or let it sit overnight. It'll definitely evaporate. Usually with alcohol you only need about 5-10 minutes, but I'm saying leave it overnight for areas like circuit boards like that where water may seep under and it might take more time to clean off. You could also use a dry toothbrush, brush the entire thing off. If you see some type of like hard residue, you could actually use like maybe a pin or something, a sewing needle, and just scuff it real lightly. Do not push too hard, because if you break the contact on a circuit board, see those little lines right there? Those are actually embedded wires into the circuit board going over there. So if you put a deep scratch in there, it'll stop the contact on a certain button or something. But all you're doing is removing a little bit of the what do you call that? Like corrosion, you might see something like that. I could remove the whole circuit board here. Usually it's clipped in. Mine is still snapped in some way or another. See that? I just popped it and removed the little clip that was stuck in. Real simple concept, especially remote controls. This is easy. Anybody can do it. Don't get discouraged. And if you see this type of like little, can you see that right there? It almost looks like a tan, almost looks like pop, but it's hard. I believe that's flux. That was put on there when they were soldering these together, so that's actually not sticky residue, and you don't have to remove that. You see how it breaks away? If you see something like that, that's not the pop or sticky residue. So sorry to repeat that twice, but and you can see a little bit more of it right here in the corner. But that one area where you did see that, that was pop and sticky residue. So I'm gonna go clean this. I'm gonna come right back. This with soap and water, just letting it dry off as good as I could before I put mine back together. I believe mine is completely dry. Let's see if this thing's gonna work when I put it back together. Here we go. And most remotes are the same. I'm thinking about maybe when I get to the end of my video, I can show you guys how to open a different type of remote, because maybe you guys got one with screws or something. But I just want to point out where all these little snap clips are. See that right here, how they're snapped and clipped in. So when we were prying, it actually was clipped in. And like I said, yours is probably going to be the same, where you got these little hooks. They're a little bit bent. So when I was sticking that razor in there, you're actually just prying that little thing. Can you see how it's a little bent on there? So anyways, we're going to put this thing back together, because your remote's probably a little different than mine, but also probably at the same time it's still a little bit the same, because usually they're built pretty similar. Sorry, trying to figure out which way this thing went again. Was it this way or that way? Nope, it wasn't actually. Two little ones at the bottom. There we go. Now I know that's in the right way. The V goes up and down. Got the remote all cleaned up. Kids don't want to admit to spilling pop on it, but I know they did. Juice, pop, something, whatever it was. There's no way it was sticky like that, and it wasn't like that the day before. Just pushing this all in place. Make sure it's got it all in place. Look at it before you go snap it together. Make sure all your buttons are the same, especially if you have single buttons where you got to put each one of them in. Okay, so got my ring on there. I'm going to put that in there. And we're going to put this thing back together. Slowly snap it. Let's see if we could do this. And that's why I keep telling you guys, anybody can do this. You don't have to go order a new remote. At least give it a shot. Even if it doesn't work for sure, you can give it a shot and try it out and see if it's going to work. All right, got that side in right. This side I didn't get in right. Actually have to pop it back out. The ring goes in first. One side went in real easily, the other side didn't. Prying it back. And you might not have that ring around yours how I got mine, so I didn't get that one in good. Alright, I'm gonna make my video short. I'll get that back in when you guys aren't watching. Let's put the batteries in here. Let's see if this fixed my problem. Remote would not turn on, and the volume key also was really sticky. Okay, let's see if this works. We're aiming at the TV at real time right now. Here goes nothing. There it goes. It just turned it on, I think. Oh yeah, it's working. Channels are working. Check my volume. Volume's working. It's good to hang out with people who will slow down. All right, so everything looks good. All the buttons are working. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, we're good. Power off. I just wanted to throw this in there at the end of the video. If you have a different type of remote, I was looking for one with a couple screws where you got to unscrew maybe a little Phillips screw out of it, but I couldn't find any. All the remotes in my house or in my store where I'm at right now don't have any screws in them. Go figure. I know DirecTV has like 2 screws, and then you got to use a razor to pry it. So for you guys who have a different remote, look for where the plastic splits. Usually it splits somewhere right here, and say it's over here, and you're gonna pry just like the other remote. They're all pretty much the same. It's nice to have 2 razor blades handy. I found the split where it looked like actually it was right there, and it wasn't. Look at that. I was wrong. So where I split it from the top, it split differently. Just going to show you guys how simple this is to split open. One remote is just like any other remote. They're almost all similar is what I mean. Where you got a bunch of buttons. I'm inside of here in less than, what, 30 seconds? And you got your circuit board. And if you want to remove the circuit board, you can. Real simple. Also, I've never seen a capacitor in a remote. I guess I've never really looked too good. These tend to blow out sometimes. So if your capacitor is a little puffy at the top right there, these are replaceable. You would just look for the codes on there and resolder that in. If that's too technical for you guys, don't bother. Just look for a new remote. You want to get the same one. You could probably find it on eBay or Amazon, or Google it and look for somebody who's selling it. So hopefully this video helped you guys out one way or another. At the last time, thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up.